what's your name?
Do you want my full name, you mean? Hilda Mason.
Hilda Mason, yeah. And how old are you at the moment, Hilda?
86.
Yeah. And how long have you lived in Chorlton?
Oh, at least 30 odd years, maybe 40.
30, 40 years?
Yes.
Yeah. And when you, what shops do you remember from that time? What kind of shops do you remember?
Well, we lived Beach Road, and we lived in what we call Cartwright Road. We had a little corner shop near us, and that was before decimalisation came in. We had a lady in there called Rose, and she had these old-fashioned scales, what still said the pounds and ounces. And when she did the till, it came up a halfpenny, a penny, tons, you know. And they sold everything, a little corner shop, that was. And she had an awful job when they changed over to decimalisation. She couldn't get into it. She still used the old-fashioned scales. Yeah. And then Beach Road, of course, we had a good row of shops then, because we had the post office, butchers, material shop, wool shop, hairdressers, greengrocers. We had all the necessary shops that you wanted. But them days, we belonged to the Rambling Club, and we used to go out rambling 3 times a week. So we belonged to Manchester Ramblers, and as I said, every Sunday we used to go to Manchester and join a coach, and it used to take us out into the country where we went on walks. And I think that's what's more or less kept me fit, is by doing all that, really. The first community that I had was really coming to Good Neighbours when I lost my husband about 10 years ago. And one of the ladies we just moved, not being long in, moved from our house because my husband wasn't well, and we moved into sheltered accommodation. And then, of course, when my husband died, I was more or less on my own. And this lady said to me, why don't you go to Good Neighbours, you know, on a Thursday coffee morning? And I thought, oh no, all them old people, you know. But I came along and met Helen and volunteers, and it was the best thing that I ever did. It's really given me a new lease of life, coming to Good Neighbours. And from there, as I said, I just came on a Thursday, and then Margaret asked me to join the art class, which I couldn't draw for toffee. And even though I say it myself, some of the painting, I've got them hung up now in the house.
Fantastic.
Quite pleased with them.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah. And then from there, of course, met Helen, and then Helen asked me, would I like to join the toddlers group and help out with the toddlers on a Tuesday. So, of course, I joined the toddlers, which was another outlet for me. See? And then she come along and said, how about joining the Keep Fit? So I joined the Monday Keep Fit, and that was smashing. And I tried the Wednesday, but it was a bit too military for me, a bit too hard for me. And then I joined the Friday one, which was very good, because Don there, whatever you do with Don, he tells you what everything's for. Right. You know, the reason why you do this and that, which is very good. Yeah. And then beside that, all the ladies that you meet, they're all smashing, and the volunteers, I don't know what we do with that now. Well, it's given me a new lease of life, hasn't it? Yeah, it has really, isn't it? I think it's kept me young, you know, because I don't feel my age at all. My first job was 9 shillings a week, and my spends was 1 and 6. Wow. Yeah. And after you 1 and 6, you had to buy your stockings and anything else, and pay for your bus fare. And
what did you do?
Well, first of all, I went to work at Henshaw's Blind Workshops.
On Old Trafford?
In Warwick, yes, Warwick Road. I worked there, and I was there during the war. And I went there as a machinist, because they had a department that made garments, knitwear. And I went there as a machinist. I started there when I was 14. and I was there right through the war. And then as I got older, got a bit fed up, and I went from there to Barry's in Manchester, in Deansgate, the school outfitters. When we first got married, we lived in a flat in Whalley Range. Because I didn't get married until I was 39. I was late in life. That's the reason why I didn't have a family, because it was getting a bit too old and I hadn't the money. I left school at 14. I left in December, because my birthday's on Christmas Day, as you know, and started working in January. And then the war broke out in the September of that year. So.
Have you got any wartime memories?
Wartime memories? Yes, I have. Crazy. Used to be terrible. Used to just get in from work, and the next thing I was in the Anderson shelter in the garden having my tea, and you spend the whole night in there. We had bunks in there. Used to sleep in there all night, and you hear them going over and bombing. And then we were turfed out of our house one Christmas. We spent Christmas at in Stratford. There was a church on Barton Road there, Church Hall. They'd converted it, and all these tables all had palliasses on them, and that's straw mattresses. And I slept on them, so just imagine all these people sleeping on them, all sound and whatnot. Because they dropped up, where our house lived in Stratford, where I lived in Stratford, there was a railway at the back, and they dropped all the assembly bombs all the way along. So that's why they moved us out of the houses, you know, until they cleared them all.
Did you ever go to the cinema in Chorlton?
Cinema, where?
The Isolde on Ballamore Road.
No, I don't remember that. Remember that in Stratford, there used to be the Picturedrome,
And opposite
Longford, the Buggot, the Futurist, which during the war they used as keeping dead bodies in. Crematorium, they used it during the war. But that was a cheap.
Mortuary.
The dearest price in that was sixpence in the balcony. Oh, and the Corona. Do you remember the Corona?
Corona,
in
yes,
Stratford?
on Moss Road.
On Moss Road, yeah. That was the only place that had double seats. Do you remember the double seats?
No, they had double seats in the Isolde because I went there with my first girlfriend.
Oh, they used to have double seats where you could sit with your boyfriend.
What would happen, do you think, if Good Neighbours wasn't here anymore?
Oh dear, don't know. Can't bear to think of that. Should think it goes. We want it to go on from strength to strength, because we've got a good Helen. I don't know how she does what she does. I'm not just saying it because she's there, because I've worked with her, because I do a bit of telephoning on a Monday morning to help out, and I've seen the work that goes on, and I didn't realise what went on in that office until I went to work in there. Beside that, she's got a good set of volunteers, and they are a good lot of volunteers she's got, that we couldn't do without them. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me, I'll say that.
Oh.
It really is. Well, I honestly, tell you the truth, I don't know what would have happened to me if I hadn't come here.